right, Chad. Do you want to talk about the home performance that you got going on at not at but on your YouTube or whatnot? Go ahead and tell them how to get in contact with you on YouTube and look at your videos and learn a lot. Y'all can learn a lot off his videos. If y'all trying to do anything with your house performances, if y'all stuck on y'all furnace or whatnot, even for technicians that's out there that's working, if y'all get stuck on anything, you can look him up on YouTube. He has a lot of tips and videos that can help you fix a lot of things. Go ahead, Chad.
Like I said, Chiles Heat Cool. C-H-I-L-E as an elephant S. Heat Cool. All one word. But like we were saying, home performance, it's if the ductwork is not installed right, if the ductwork is too leaky, you're going to run the equipment great. It's going to work, but it's going to run and run and run and run and run since you can't get the air where you need it to go. Mm-hmm. Like my parents bought their house out here. I came out here and hey, the basement's a meat locker. Well, you got 2 heat runs disconnected, so you're dumping all the cold air in the basement. Mm-hmm. Fix this part of it, and then you get a little more air flowing to the upstairs because basement and then your main level of your house. Mm-hmm. Then you kind of worked on sealing things up, and air conditioner would run and run and run and run and run. The house literally was getting down to 69, 70 degrees, which was colder than what my parents wanted, but you had a return in the hallway with your whole house attic fan. The attic fans like that are nice, or their whole house fans, depending where you're at, what they call them. They're nice for cheap air conditioning in the springtime, maybe later in the fall. Just a giant hole in the house. So in the wintertime, if you don't cover it, if you don't insulate it, do something, whatever money you're paying to heat up your house, it's just going to go straight through into the attic, and you're just paying to heat the attic and upper atmosphere at that point.
That's crazy. But so how can they winterize their house? What are some of the tips that you got to help it be more efficient or whatnot?
Caulking and weather stripping. That's the first part there. I've got some videos where I go with my thermal imaging camera. I go through part of it with an incense to kind of do a smoke test, since I don't have an actual smoke pen, but an incense put off smoke, so works great for doing that. Because like the house we just bought, windy day, you can watch the curtains move with it. Put a little bit of weather stripping on the bottom of the window, good to go. That's good to go type stuff. The scuttle hole going into an attic, put some weather stripping around the scuttle hole. Glue or staple insulation equivalent to what your attic rating is, so you don't have heat transfer going through the cap on your scuttle hole right there, that piece of plywood.
Yeah,
I mean,
everything matters when it comes to trying to heat up your house and trying to cool it down. Missing any holes, windows not shut all the way, cracks in the window.
Contractors love to drill holes to get things done with houses in Missouri, but they don't know how to use a caulk gun apparently. Everything I've seen on that, it's like you drilled the hole, but you just can't get that little tube of caulk, and I've even told that to some, and caulk is getting expensive.
Yeah, now it is.
Now it is, but we're talking like when it's $3 a tube. It's like it's $3 for a tube of caulk that can seal up the house and make it look like a professional did it. Yeah, that's going to bankrupt me. Then you need to raise your prices. Then I'm already charging premium prices. Then just admit you're screwing the people over.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, because that's part of it there. Like with our house, the previous owner, drilled the hole for the dryer vent, and you could stand there by the dryer and just feel the cold air coming in because he put the hole in the house but never sealed it up.
Ain't that about something?
That one, I didn't want to play games on that, so I just took a can of spray foam and there you go. Sealed that up, insulates that little part of that rim joist area on the house, and you're good to go with that.
Man. So you got any other tips for the homeowners out there that want to try to fix stuff themselves but don't want to call the HVAC guy?
I've got on my YouTube channel, when I had my business a while back, before my back said, nope, you can't do this no more. I did a whole video series, just step 1 to the end of cleaning a flame sensor, servicing a furnace, because I did that, hey, this is advertisement for my business of this is what you should be, if you get a furnace service, this is the minimum of what somebody should be doing to your furnace.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're not talking that little, they're coming out for $30 and, yeah, you got a furnace, it's dirty, well, we'll clean it for another $60. Because you got to remember, when you got to pay attention to the wording with contractor companies.
You really do.
If they say it's a $49 furnace inspection, you notice they said furnace inspection.
They're gonna just look at it, not do nothing. They're gonna tell you what's wrong with it. There's gonna be an extra charge before you get it fixed.
Yep.
You don't want that. You want when you
furnace service,
yeah.
furnace, cleaning check type of deal. You know.
Mm-hmm. And make sure the burners are clean. Make sure all the dust and everything is removed.
It's like with what's the commercials they keep doing? $69 drain opening.
Mm-hmm.
Notice it said drain opening.
And I was wondering about that. So is it the main drain they're gonna be opening or what?
It's the main they're gonna open, but there's a big difference between putting the 1/4 inch, snake cable in there and running the 3 or 4 inch cutter head to clear out that drain.
Mm-hmm.
You notice, because they can open it dirt cheap, but then if you really want the problem fixed, that's just gonna cost a little bit more money if you want.
Exactly. That's just another way for them to get over whatnot. Them commercials are crazy. Drain opening. They might take the most basic snake and just run it straight through there.
And as long as the water went down, they opened it.
And
no guarantees.
Exactly. They gone.
Yep.
But you really, if you're having a lot of root problems in your drains or whatnot, you want them to actually really clean that thing and cut it up.
Clean it type of deal.
Like with that tip on there that cut up the roots or whatnot.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So you got anything else on the home performance?
Doors, windows, insulation, and air sealing. Those are the biggest ones right there. Because like when we bought our house, I know it had single pane windows.
Mm-hmm.
Knew it had single pane windows. Somebody put storm windows on it, so it's like, okay.
So you still get a lot of wind going through there a lot?
Little bit. Not as much as without the storm windows, and it doesn't perform like double pane windows, but at least if you have a storm window, you got another barrier, so it helps out.
Mm.
You got drafty windows, put plastic over them.
Mm-hmm.
Put the plastic on it.
That will help a lot.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm. Like you said caulking the windows.
Caulk around it. All the penetrations, like where the line set comes out, your hose spigot, your dryer vent, any other pipes that go through there, just caulk around it, because it's an opening that insects and unconditioned air gets in. Because that's what you're trying to do, is you're trying to eliminate, like, how can I put this? When you look at some of the home performance standards now, like, they're getting to where they don't want on new houses that Tyvek wrap stapled on it, because each, you got a hammer tacker and you're going, each staple punctures a hole in it. Because I think just between the typical install of it, there's enough holes to equal having one window open in the house just from everything. And they're trying to tighten it up more. Now, you can tighten the house too much to where now you don't have enough air exchanges going on where you'd have to have mechanical ventilation, because then you can get sick off that.
Yeah, so
And that's where blower door testing, will come in handy with the CFM 50 test to verify the performance of the house on that.
Wow.
I had a student at Vaderot talked how he did an energy audit on a house with that blower door test, and that house just failed. It was so drafty, but that house being so drafty is the only way it didn't blow up from the gas leak.
Oh, okay.
Because somebody did some gas line work and they just hand tightened the gas line.
So it was leaking gas the whole entire time.
And nobody really knew, because the house was so drafty where the gas couldn't even build up to cause an explosion.
Ain't that bad? I never heard of it before, but I believe that I can see that scenario playing out. Or whatnot. That's crazy.
And that's also the case with a house like that. Like your air sealing and insulation. Like we did work out with a company I worked with out in Colorado Springs, where we did Energy Star houses. And you're talking heating a 2,000 square foot house with a 45,000 BTU furnace.